Hello, my name is Anthony Badonna. I'm an Apollo engineer, retired, and this video is about the incident that happened when I was a teenager. My dad was working at Lockheed Aircraft. I thought at Burbank, but turned out he was working at the Skunk Works. Anyway, at the time I didn't know what the Skunk Works was, so it was secret. Well, anyway, my dad came home from work, and he was all excited. He said they had saw a UFO flying over the plant, which I thought was at Burbank. So he said they were going to have a picture of it and the information about it on the company paper. It's called the Lockheed Start. So I was all excited waiting to see what happened. And we got the Lockheed Star when it came out, and all there was a little blob on a photo. But anyway, I manipulated that photo and did some work on it. It actually wasn't a blob. I had to have better equipment. So I'll show that at the end of the video. But let me tell you what the incident was all about. And the article said, mysterious object sighted by pilots over Victorville. Lockheed planes recently fought a no-decision bout with one of the mysterious objects in the skies over Southern California. Pilots involved in the fracas request that they remain anonymous, even though they backed up their story with photographs. But therein lies the tale. Round 1. It started with a T-33 pilot who was making a run out of Palmdale at 40,000 feet. He observed a white shining object far above him in the sky north of Palmdale and set out after it. He pursued it as far as Victorville without gaining on it when it suddenly halted. The pilot radioed B9 a description of what he found, and ships in the air at the time headed that way to help investigate. Another pilot on the ground quickly telephoned a friend who owned a movie camera with a telescopic lens and told him to hustle out to the airport with it. Round 2. Here's where the comedy of errors begins, said the pilot. My friend began in a big frenzy, rushed to shoot photos of this thing, snatched up a long lens shade, thinking it was his telescopic lens, and came rushing out to the field. Armed with the camera, the two jumped into a T-33 and whistled out over Victorville to have a look at the strange intruder. It hung up there like a signboard in the sky. You couldn't miss it from 20 miles away, said the pilot. And we began to climb to have a good look at it. The other boys were out there flying to climb up to its also. Round 3. Nobody could reach the mysterious white object at altitude. At the T-33 ceiling, the man with the movie camera started shooting, not noting that he wasn't equipped with a telescopic lens. He didn't get much. The Air Defense Command had the object on its radar, so there must have been some metal in it, said the pilot. But it was 65,000 feet. We couldn't get up to it. The pilot who had first sighted the object returned to Palmdale, obtained a F-94C Starfire, and made an afterburner climb trying to reach the intruder. Even the Starfighter couldn't get up to it. Okay, end of bout. Finally, the half-dozen planes involved gave up and went home, leaving the white object still shimmering in the sky. We think it might have been a weather balloon, said one pilot, except for a couple of little odd things we'd be certain. One fact that it didn't jibe with the weather balloon's idea was the size of the object. To be conspicuous as it was, the thing would have to be about the size of an airplane hangar, as high as it was above us, said the pilots. Another thing that was peculiar was that the way it zipped along and then suddenly stopped. He said, and it stayed stopped directly over Victorville for 3 hours. It didn't move. We could clearly distinguish the shape. It was roughly oval, round on top. It just sparkled in the sunlight. Maybe next time we'll see one. We'll be lower, then we'll find out. End of article. Well, anyway, I found this newspaper on eBay, and I ordered it, and I took it home. I arrived yesterday, and I examined it, and I started manipulating the photo it had in there. It wasn't just a little white blob like I thought. It looked, being that it was shot during the day, they put a reverse image on it. It was like a negative. So I put it back the way it should look, and it had this dark little blob, but I started staring at it, and it came to me that it was an oval shape. And I made a little drawing of it, and so everybody could see what it looks like. Anyway, one thing I might want to add is that my dad and those pilots were manufacturing the U-2 at that time, and they would have identified it if it was a U-2 flight that was going overhead, because that's what they made there, and my dad wired a lot of those. So anyway, I thought I'd mention that, and thank you for watching my video and enjoying it, and taking the time to see it. Thank you, and goodbye.